Welcome, Stacy. It's a blessing meeting you and others. So I
Yeah.
just want to thank you for being on here and just being able to share my personal testimony. First of all, I'm director of the Healing and Soaking Rooms of Montgomery County, Maryland, and I'm an ordained minister at Living Word International Christian Church in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I am a prostate cancer survivor. I survived prostate cancer for 8 years, and I'm thankful to the Lord Jesus for that.
Well, that is great news. Tony, were there any signs and symptoms before your diagnosis?
I had no signs of prostate cancer symptoms. My symptoms really dealt with shortness of breath. When I would walk up and down my stairs, I would have shortness of breath. So I went to see my doctor because I thought I was having a heart attack. And a nurse practitioner waited on me. She was very thorough. She checked my heart. She said she thought I had a heart murmur. Then, she took a sample from my blood and had it tested for my PSA. When the results came back, my PSA level was like 2.8, 2.9. And when she had gone over my medical records, she saw that the previous year it was 1.8, 1.9. So she recommended that I go to a urologist.
Wow.
And when I went to that urologist, Frank Nizo at the Chesapeake Urology in Columbia, Maryland, this man was thorough. He said, I don't think that you have prostate cancer, but I want to schedule you for a biopsy. So we had a biopsy. This was in the fall of 2011. And 12 tissue samples were taken, 9 were benign, non-cancerous, and 3 were cancerous. So then we went on and we talked about all the different treatment methods for prostate cancer.
Wow. And so what type of treatment did you have personally?
I had my prostate removed. I didn't want to do chemo and radiation because I know it killed some of the bad cells, but as well as some of the good cells. So I just chose that method. And each treatment method has its own advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. So with that said, can you briefly tell us maybe one or two of the advantages and one or two of the disadvantages?
Well, for example, with chemo and radiation, and I know a lot of friends had that. Some of them had issues with neuropathy, not being able to feel, like when they walked and stuff. So I know that was a disadvantage. And I also knew that it killed, the bad cells, which is a good thing, but it also killed some of the good cells. So I didn't want to go through that. And at the same time, I was going through the diagnosis with the beginning stages of prostate cancer. A close friend of mine had stage 4 colon cancer. So I would go sometime and take him to his treatments. I would follow up with him, visit him all the time. So I saw all the stuff that he went through, and I knew I did not want that for myself. But I also want to say, at no point in my whole journey, which was for 2 or 3 years, did I even think about not living. Neither did I think about dying or any of that. I didn't. And I didn't focus so much on myself or what I was going through, because my stuff was minor compared to what other people were going through, like my friend George, who had stage 4 colon cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it always helps to consider others, even in your situation, whatever situation that might be. Tony, how are you encouraging other men to get checked?
I encourage my family members. I encourage church members. I encourage my close friends to get annual physicals, to get checkups, make sure they get their heart checked, make sure that they check their colon, make sure that they check their prostate, because all these things are very important. But also, when you don't feel good in your body, go to a doctor, because that's what they're trained for, to help detect diseases and to help you. But just don't sit back and do nothing. You are important to your wife, to your girlfriend, to your boyfriend. You're important, your kids. So really do it for them if you don't want to do it for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's some sage advice, and we certainly appreciate you sharing your story. One final quick question for you, Tony. And again, thank you so much for being so brave to share your story on this type of platform. What support system did you have from beginning to end?
My wife is a prayer warrior, and I surround myself with a lot of Christians who pray and intercede for people. So I had close friends that were praying and interceding for me. I had my wife praying and interceding for me. I also was praying for myself, reading the Bible, claiming the promises from the Bible for my own personal healing. And it's my faith. All those things kept me and encouraged me during that time.
Well, we certainly, again, I can't tell you enough how we thank you, Tony Goodman, for sharing your courageous story and your ongoing battle with us and that of your friends. We appreciate it. Well,